Hey guys, we got a new motherboard from Gigabyte today. Well, actually, not exactly new. It's a new design, but it's an existing series. This is a wooden style motherboard from Gigabyte, and it's for the latest AMD generation. Let's open up and see what we got inside. I actually immediately like that the packaging is clearly recycled, but they also do it in a theme of the wooden accents that the board has, so which is kind of nice. Inside, we've got the board itself. As you can see, it has this kind of teak style wooden accents on the sides, and it's using little leather straps for the M.2 slots. Overall, it's kind of a white / wooden color. Rather than going with the whole Stormtrooper vibe, you got more of a Nordic style for the motherboard itself. It feels like it weighs an absolute ton, and it even has a metal backplate, so you can actually easily put it down without, damaging your components. Inside the box, we also got yourself a normal Wi-Fi antenna. We got some SATA cables and some general accessories. Starting from a little G connector, which is going to be for your front header connectors, and some other general accessories. Obviously, manual and your normal warranty information. Let's have a look at the board itself. So this board is for the latest AMD platform, and it supports up to 2 graphics cards. So if you really wanted to, you could potentially install two full-size graphics cards using PCIe Gen 5. But if you do that, these 2 slots will operate in a bifurcation, and there'll only be 8 lanes each. To make it easier, we'll just put it on here. And ironically, look, it actually fits in with the little bamboo color. It's kind of very similar. So on the right-hand side, we have 4 memory slots, and you can see up to 64 GB memory sticks on the right-hand side here, with speeds of up to 9,000 mega transfers per second, which is overclock speed. The likelihood of you installing that in this motherboard is very low now because RAM costs more than gold and it's a bit insane, but let's move on from that. In terms of the SSDs, this board actually supports up to 4 drives. Let me just open this up. It's kind of magnetic, which is kind of cool. This is an M.2, which connects directly to your CPU, and it's a Gen 5 by 4. Then we've got additional SSDs below this, but I feel that there's a bit of a tolerance issue for this little adapter. It's a bit tight to take it out. See, you need to kind of push onto it and then push it through. When you take this out, you've got additional 3 slots. So within here, you can actually see M2B, which connects directly to the CPU as well. So these 2 slots here connect to the CPU, and they're Gen 5 slots by 4 lanes. These 2 slots right here connect using PCIe Gen 4 directly to the chipset. So you still have 4 lanes each, but now they connect from the chipset over to the CPU. So they'll be running slightly slower speed. It's kind of interesting. With this board, you can actually populate in such a way that you can install a full-size graphics card at 16 lanes, PCIe Gen 5. You can then install 2 PCIe Gen 5 SSDs at 4 lanes each, and 2 more SSDs at 4 lanes each, without any of the devices slowing down in any way, with one exception. If you populate the bottom PCIe Gen 4 drive, the 2 high-speed USB Type-C ports on the back half in speed. But we'll come to those in a bit. But overall, this kind of board can actually fit a lot of devices, which is really, really nice. We also got ourselves a USB Type-C header, USB 3 Type-A header, and over here we even have a HDMI out. So this HDMI is more focused for like internal monitors or some sort of screens you want to have just to display some sort of graphics or maybe your component temperatures or whatever else, which is really, really cool and really, really convenient. We've got the standard SATA port at the bottom here, and then you've got your standard, normal USBs down below, and a bunch of fan headers and RGB. On the bottom here, we have 3 RGB connectors over here. We got 3 fans over here. Then we have 2 more fan headers just here, which is already a ton. And then we've got 3 more fan headers up top. Obviously, you've got your CPU cooler alternative, and probably a pump header as well. And lastly, we have another ARGB port over here. So you got a lot of connectors. On the backhand side, we have a whole stack of USB ports. So as you can see here, we have 2 USB 4 with display port. These are 40 gigabit ports, and these are the ones that would be affected if you install all 4 SSDs. So these 2 ports will then half in speed. They won't be 40, they'll be 20. Then we also have a 20 USB-C, just a standard one. We have 3 USB-A 5 gigabit ports, as well as we have 5 more USB-A 10 gigabit ports. So the red ones are 10 gigabits. On top of this, we've got 2 LAN ports, and those are 5 gigabits each. And lastly, we have ourselves a Wi-Fi 7 antenna connection. Also, there are your more prosumer buttons for the BIOS reset, Q-Flash, as well as clear CMOS and general reset. So you have a whole stack of features you can just use from the outside of the case. Obviously, we have ourselves our normal standard LEDs and the little LED screen here for your error codes. So if you wanted to do overclocking, which this board is certainly capable of doing, you really can. This is a really nice looking board. It has all the features you'd want. It includes your typical spring leaf connector, so you can, if you install a graphics card, you can, like if your graphics card is installed, you can press this and it unlocks the slot, so you can easily take out the graphics card. When you have a massive heatsink like this, it actually becomes very challenging to get that graphics card out without poking things through. And trust me, I've broken little connectors on the actual motherboard before by poking too hard at the motherboard itself. But if you have a motherboard, if you have a GPU in here, let's say it's installed, just click the button, it opens up and it's easy to remove. Very convenient for troubleshooting and just generally doing upgrades. I also really like that this part here is whole. I know we're having some issues with this little connector, but having this all as one big board rather than having to unscrew 20 different cables is very convenient. Just kind of slot it in, open this up, and it's in. And now, once all of the things are installed, it does look really clean. And I like that the PCB itself is white as well. It's definitely a solid board. It's not a cheap board, but look, if you're getting a board that, first of all, has clear aesthetical focus, but also has all these features, you expect to pay quite a bit for it. And this is why it's coming from their higher lineup anyway. So what do you guys think about this board? Is this something that you would be interested to buy? If so, let us know below what kind of build you would make, what kind of case you would use. Let me know in the comments below. Other than that, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more. We'll see you in the next one.